Hi everyone, it's been a while since I've done an instructional video, but that's what I'm going to attempt to do today because I've been asked a lot about how to work with cauldrons, first of all, and in particular, how to do the charcoal for the cauldrons. So you do want a fire-safe cauldron, of course. I have a couple. I'm going to demonstrate with this wee little one that I have. That's my cast iron cauldron. It has the lid, it opens and closes as most do. And then I also have my big iron one that I sometimes will use as well. Now, mostly I use this for actually stirring up my potions and things like that, but we'll get into that in a minute. So your charcoal. So people will see these little tubes of charcoal. So there's usually about 10 to 12 pieces of charcoal in them. They look like this. That's what they look like, just little pieces of charcoal. And they are different from your standard, like the charcoal you barbecue with. But a lot of people don't know how to use them or are a little frightened of using them. Now you'll notice that I have my cauldron also on well, I got this as a bottom of a plant stand. It's just one of those clay plant stands that I've got. And I put this on top just so that it's not directly on the tablecloth or the table, just in case, because of the iron or the cast iron legs. These legs do get quite warm as well, so I don't want to be burning them into my table. Now, because this gets really hot, it's not necessarily going to start a fire per se, as far as, you know, like just sitting on a table kind of thing. However, I do recommend that you have it on some kind of heat proof. You could even have it on a trivet, you know, one of those hot pads that you put hot pots on. You could have it on that. I would say the hot pad, it would probably burn through the hot pad, but the trivet definitely would work really, really well. I just happened to be doing a money spell as my last one, so there actually is money in this, and beeswax, because of course beeswax is all about abundance and whatnot too. So that's what's in this tray, this little clay tray that I've got. So let's light up some charcoal, and I'm just going to show you how to do it. Now you can take your charcoal. By the way, these are your best friends, these tongs, because then you can hold on to the charcoal and not worry about burning your fingers. You can hold on to it and light it. I've done it, and place it right in there. You are risking burning your fingers a little bit, right? Because you'll let go when it gets really hot. But these are so much easier and handier to do. Now you can light this just by lighting up this and lighting that. However, it does use up your gas or your butane or whatever's in here, right? Your lighter fluid. So what I tend to do is I tend to light a candle, and that gets lit. And then I take my handy dandy little tongs, and you'll notice that I'm not sure if you can see it, but on one side it's a little concave, right? And then on the other side it's caved in. I'm not sure if I'm using those terms right, but it's got a little bit of a hole, almost like where you can put stuff. And that is for, you know, if you want to put little flower buds or herbs, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a minute. You can tear up little pieces of paper if there's, you know, a wish that you're trying to manifest in, that you can place on top. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece of charcoal. I tend to take it like this, and you're just going to light it, and it's going to be very magical. See how it sparkles and whatnot. Oh, I actually put the flame out. Okay, well, that's okay. We'll relight this, no problem, because it doesn't take much to light up this charcoal. A lot of people think that they have to keep the charcoal in the flame until it's like super, super hot. And really, probably what I've done right now is enough. You can see that it's starting to sparkle and smoke and whatnot. So it'll keep doing it. It's very magical. This is Three Kings charcoal. That I sell this charcoal in my parlor. So this is really good for magical works because it feels very magical. And when you're doing cauldron work, it's kind of like you feel like you're really doing some magic kind of thing. So I'm just going to put it in here because it's going to continue to sparkle and you'll hear it popping and all that kind of stuff. And it's going to get really hot. That's all it takes to light this stuff up. It's not, you don't have to hold it until it's red hot or whatever. And it's going to keep going, doing its thing. It feels very magical. And eventually it'll come across, like you light one side and it'll go gray across, and it's still really hot when it's gray. So keep that in mind, okay? Now let's say you want to mix up some potion or something like that. So I've got a bit of a potion mixed in here with a bunch of herbs. So you can take some of these herbs and you can place it in the pot and it'll start to burn and smoke just as the charcoal is smoking up as well. So just be mindful of when you use this, knowing that once you light it, it's going to sparkle and pop and fizz and all that good stuff for quite some time. Probably at least an hour, you're going to have hot charcoal in this pot. And this pot is going to get extremely hot, including the little handle. Okay, so don't be picking up the handle thinking that it's all fine. So if you've got other little cauldrons like this, be mindful that the handle does not stay cool. So don't try and pick it up from there. This is where these tongs come in. You can get tongs in the parlor here. They sell them, like they're not very expensive. Like I think mine are like $2 a pair or something like that. And this charcoal will last you a long time. One piece, like I said, will do for one spell or one potion or one meditation, whatever you want it to be. And like I said, you can keep putting little herbs on there. It will burn up. You can put, see, it smokes up every time. It kind of gets refreshed there. Here we go. Getting a little marigold going for some happiness and joy. And it'll keep going. Oh, we got some red clover here. Let's put some red clover in here just for a little fun. Now I've done this with llamas, for instance. I've done it with flour. Now, the one thing you do have to be sort of mindful of is don't drown it. So I've seen people that'll just like dump stuff into the cauldron and it's like it's too much. You'll actually put out the charcoal and then it won't burn properly. So don't be afraid to stir it up a little bit too, you know, stir the pot, right? You gotta stir it up and that'll get things going and it'll keep burning and keep going. So if you want to create an incense, you can. If you have loose incense, if you have loose sage or any of the medicines like cedar or sweetgrass, charcoal is actually the best way. This is the best way to burn your sweetgrass, because sweetgrass is very hard to light. So if you want to burn your sweetgrass, because a lot of times when you use sage, for instance, or when you smudge with sage and you're getting rid of the negativity, that's all well and good, but you need to put in some happiness, some joy, some sweetness in there to replace what you've taken away. So a lot of times when we smudge, we will follow that up with sweetgrass. And sweetgrass is best done on charcoal because it burns more evenly and it burns more reliably then as well. So, and whenever you're done, you can just put your lid on and that snuffs it out, so to speak. And, you know, you can snuff out your candles, you can blow out your candles. There's been debate, and I know for a long, long time I was a big believer in snuffing out, but now I'm sort of, either way, it doesn't really matter. But with this, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be snuffing it out just because it's easier to do. Now, that being said, I always keep some moon water on my table somewhere on my altar when I'm working with cauldrons or candles or anything like that, because if, you know, the worst happens, you've got some moon water to put out everything if you need to. So always keep some moon water close by, just so that you can put out whatever you need to put out quickly, should you need to do it quickly. I am going to be doing a whole sort of masterclass on working with the magic of cauldrons, because I just love working with cauldrons. It's a lot of fun. But I just thought I'd get on here real quick and kind of talk about how to just even light the charcoal, because a lot of people didn't know how to do that. So that's your very first step. So now you know how to do the charcoal for your cauldron. Good luck with all your cauldron magic and all your cauldron working. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. Please, you know, follow, subscribe, whatever channel you're finding me on, whether it's a TikTok or Facebook or YouTube. I always appreciate any followers. If this happens to be a reel, you can donate some stars to me, and I can keep doing this kind of video for you. Okay, take care. Happy magic working. Bye.